Dubious ones, welcome back to the channel for some more Marvel Rivals. Today, I'm giving you my honest review of Marvel Rivals from my playtime that I had with it, with the many hours I got to play the game during the closed beta. So I'm going to give you my honest takes. Personally, having never played a hero shooter prior to this was a new experience for me, and I really want to give you my honest feedback. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I just want to let you guys know that ahead of time. And make sure, if you're new to the channel, you do smash that subscribe button. But before we get into it, I would just like to say to all of you, we are less than 2 weeks away from release of Marvel Rivals. So if you haven't had a chance to check this out, I want to let you know ahead of time. This game looks crispy and beautiful and amazing, and it is so much fun to play. We are going to constantly be getting updates on this game for new characters, new maps. As you can see in the background, these are some of the new maps that we're going to be getting at launch here, as well as some of the new heroes like Moon Knight. Very cool looking. His ultimate here, you can see, looks very cool. There's some really incredible new heroes coming to the game, and there's going to be lots more that we're going to see coming. This game is free to play, and it is cross-play, cross-platform, PS5, Xbox Series, PC. You're all going to be able to play with your friends regardless of console, and it's one of the few games that are coming out now that are not on PS4 or the old Xbox One, so you're not being held back by the old technology. We are getting this in its full beauty, and this game looks gorgeous. I love the art style. First of all, point in their favor, art style, absolutely incredible. Now, I'm going to make a bold claim here. I know I haven't played Overwatch or Overwatch 2 or some of the bigger hero shooters out there, but I'm going to say first and foremost, I think this is going to be the best and most successful hero shooter we've ever seen. I honestly believe that, and the reason I think that, and here's just another look at one of the new maps we're getting from Wakanda, Black Panther here. Beautiful new map that they showed off for us. Very cool. But the reason I think that is because this game it's a hero shooter, and it's got all your favorite heroes. The only thing that could maybe compare to this in a future sense, if they were to make a game in the future, would be if you got the whole DC universe along with, like, say, the Boys universe and cross-pollinated them into their own hero shooter, and you had someone like NetEase making it. Because it's not just the heroes we're getting. Obviously, the Marvel Universe and franchise is huge, and it's probably the most popular. So for me, the fact that we're getting all these really cool heroes and villains to play as, absolutely amazing. They've done all the characters I've played as great justice in their different roles that they play in the game, and I absolutely could not have more positive things to say about how fun this game really is. And again, because it's free to play across all platforms, I think this is going to have such legs to it. Obviously, they're going to monetize through extra costumes for your favorite heroes and stuff, which is going to be so cool because you're going to get really awesome comic book accurate, different variations of your favorite heroes you're going to get to try out. And that's what you're going to be paying for. And obviously, you're not going to use every hero. For me, I'm probably not going to be buying a lot of skins, but I am probably going to buy a skin or two if I really like them on, one of my favorite heroes. And some of my favorite heroes in the Marvel Universe aren't even in the game yet. But as you can see in the background here, we're going to be getting Captain America, obviously a huge fan favorite, as well as the Winter Soldier. Both characters, from what I've seen, absolutely, they look incredible. Very strong characters. We've got Captain America being a tank and Winter Soldier being a DPS. But let's get back to the beta here. As far as the gameplay goes, every character feels unique in the way that you have certain characters that can fly, like Storm, like Iron Man. Doctor Strange, I think, can in certain instances. And then you're going to have characters coming, like the Human Torch, that's going to be able to fly, and they are very strong. Here you're getting a look at Psylocke, who's a duelist, who's coming as well. But we saw a little bit prior, we saw Hawkeye. And Hawkeye is a sniper who's going to be incredibly strong at dealing with a character like this. As you can see, Iron Man is probably one of the most oppressive characters and fun. Was Very, very fun character for me to play. As you can see, some of the highlights I have in the background here for you, where I just got some doubles, some triples, some quads, some really big plays, and some really big games with Iron Man. And he is just so much fun to play, but very, very hard to deal with a lot of the flying characters. But now you have counters to him, like a Hawkeye, which is going to be an incredible counter to all these flying heroes that can be very much a nuisance to play against. But I love the characters. So far, I thought the balancing in the beta was quite good. Like, obviously, there were some heroes that felt stronger than others, and they'll constantly always be balancing, buffing certain characters and certain archetypes maybe, and nerfing some others. But I'm very, very excited to see what they do, because every character I played as, I had fun with. Whether I was good with them or not, didn't matter. I still had fun playing them in the different playstyles, and obviously I leaned more towards some characters in the beta than others. Iron Man being one of my favorites, Punisher being another favorite, Star-Lord being a huge favorite of mine, but I also had fun with some of the tanks. Like, I had way more fun than I had any business having with a character like Groot. You know, Groot to me, I did not think was going to be one of my favorite characters to play as, but he was so much fun as a tank. And then you had your healers that I thought were really fun to play as, where you had Jeff the Land Shark. Hilarious character, hilarious, and actually really fun and really useful on the team and really fun to play as. Same thing with Rocket Raccoon. It's a lot of fun. They have some really strong team-up mechanics in the game, which can really elevate certain characters to another level. Here you can see one of the few characters that can deal with an Iron Man is Punisher, because he can set up his turrets because of his guns, just the way the character's built. So you do have direct counterplays from some strong characters versus another strong character. Punisher, obviously, his turret here being so strong, being able to take out ultimates, just crazy, crazy stuff you can do in this game. But like, this game has a little bit of something for everybody. If you're a DPS main and you want to go out there and get your frags and get your kills and go on kill streaks, there are characters in this game that support that kind of playstyle. They have characters with a very unique playstyle, like a Spider-Man. Spider-Man plays so differently than almost every other hero in this game. And it's incredible with the amount of heroes they have in this game, how unique they're actually able to make so many different characters feel. Loki is a very good healer. I wasn't very good with him. I didn't enjoy them, but I loved having someone who was good with him on our team. Mantis, as well, as you can see there. Another great healer. Another character that wasn't my favorite, but I always appreciated having them on my team. And you'll find the characters that you kind of gravitate towards more and more. For me, I was more on the side of the DPS characters, but when I had to, I had no problem hopping on a Jeff, the Land Shark, or a Rocket Raccoon, or the other guy from that teams up with Mantis and Star-Lord was really strong as well. Like, there's just so many characters in this game, and they're always going to constantly be adding to them, that even if your favorite Marvel character isn't in the game, or even if they are in the game but they don't suit your playstyle, you will find someone that you love to play in this game. Now, as far as characters that I think are coming soon that we haven't seen yet, and we haven't heard anything for, a character like a Wolverine or a Deadpool, I think we'll definitely be getting characters like those soon, and I can't wait to see how they play. Star-Lord here was one of my favorite characters, and of course the healer I was thinking of, Adam Warlock, is really, really strong as well. He was one of the better snipers as well in the game as far as a healer goes, but Adam Warlock has some crazy synergy with Star-Lord and with Mantis, and it makes them even stronger than they already are. So there's certain combinations you're going to want to start playing as characters, like Namor, for example. I never thought I would have wanted to play as Namor, but he has such a fun playstyle. Really, really fun character to play as. Venom, one of my favorite Marvel characters. Sadly, I didn't love his playstyle. I wasn't very good with him, so I didn't personally love Venom, though there are some very, very strong Venoms out there that I've seen go on some crazy streaks, and that are really, really good tanks with him. He just wasn't my type of tank. Like, he didn't work for me. I didn't love him as much as I thought I would. Spider-Man, again, one of my favorite Marvel characters. I didn't use him as much because he's got a huge learning curve. But once you do get into a groove with him, he actually is really, really fun to use. And one of the stronger heroes in the game. But this game, I literally think there's going to be a hero out there for everybody, or a playstyle for everybody, that if you've never played a hero shooter before, this is going to be free to play. I believe it's releasing in about 10 days from now, from the drop of this video, under 2 weeks anyways. So we're very, very close to release, and you're going to be able to play it on PC, on PS5, on Xbox Series, wherever you play, you're going to get crossplay, you're going to have lobbies, you're going to get to play with your friends on whatever they play on. And I think that's amazing. The fact that this game is going to be free to play and all heroes will be available to everybody. It's not pay to win. They're not going to come out with some super strong hero or villain and lock them behind a paywall for you that you have to buy them to be able to have them. It's just going to be strictly cosmetics from what I understand, which I think is absolutely amazing. And I hope this game is ultra successful because it looks incredible. It's so much fun to play. I absolutely loved every minute I had with this game. I cannot stress enough how just fun it was, win, lose, or draw, getting into match after match. Never, ever, ever having played a hero shooter before. I took some getting used to for me, coming from, just general FPS games, regular arena shooters, to doing something like this, in third person. But they have different kinds of characters. They have melee-based characters. Obviously here, you can see Star-Lord being more of an FPS type, shooter type, same with Punisher, which is probably why I gravitated to them a little bit more. I was also playing this on Series X for the betas. That's where I was invited to play the game. That's where I got a code from when I had applied for the beta. But I would like to play this game on mouse and keyboard. I'm going to be playing it on mouse and keyboard. So hopefully that helps with my aim a little bit, because I was a little rusty on the thumbsticks. But they have characters that are like essentially aimbot built into the character. I believe it was Scarlet Witch's attacks or Hela. One of those two. I can't remember which of the two, but their attack, it literally, if you just hover over the character you're shooting at, it auto fires at them. Like when you just hold down the shoot button. It's crazy. So they do have characters out there, and they made it so it's balanced too, where that's not like the strongest only character you're going to see in every lobby kind of deal. And here again, Iron Man, I had some of my best, strongest games from, and you'll get to see the full gameplay here from this match. I had a really, really great game. With Iron Man, there was very little the enemy team could do about me because, again, to deal with a flying type character, you need, for against an Iron Man, you're going to need a Punisher. You're going to need, ultimates from a Star-Lord. You're going to, to take him out, it comes down to ultimates, having a Storm on your team or having a Punisher on your team. And now you're going to have a Hawkeye, which is going to be very, very strong. I think Hawkeye is probably set to be one of the strongest characters on launch, because he is so versatile that he can play up close and at a distance. And his sniping ability to be able to one-shot characters, DPS characters anyways, with one shot to the head, really makes him a force to be reckoned with, because you're going to be able to deal with these Iron Mans and these flying characters and the Human Torch when we get him and characters like that. But I'm very excited from what we're hearing. We're getting most of the Fantastic Four. Like, I think we're getting The Thing. I think we're getting Invisible Girl. I don't know. Forgetting Stretch. But Mr. Fantastic, but we are getting for sure the Human Torch, and I believe Invisible Girl and The Thing as well. I don't know if all of them are coming at launch or if it's going to be a staggered release for the characters. I don't even know as far as Psylocke, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Captain America, Winter Soldier. I don't know if all of those characters are coming right at launch. I'm assuming they are. But either way, this game for me blew it out of the water. I had no expectations going in. Not having played a hero shooter before, just giving it a chance and playing with a variety of characters, playing a healer, playing a tank, playing a DPS, and I thought they did a very, very good job in making every hero feel unique and awesome. Like, every character felt like you were playing as Iron Man, or as Spider-Man, or as Rocket Raccoon, or as Hela, who I'd never ever heard of before, One of the few characters I was disappointed by was probably Storm. I would say Storm was probably a little bit of a disappointment for me, just in the fact that, I don't know how you create a character like that and not have her be completely overpowered and broken if you want to give her all her abilities. But I just thought she could be maybe a little bit stronger. But that, again, could just come down to a skill factor. I wasn't proficient with her, and her being one of my favorite X-Men characters. It was cool to see her in the game. Same thing with Magneto. Magneto is in the game, one of my favorite Marvel characters by far, villain or hero, and I didn't do very well with him. I personally thought, they've balanced him. I think they thought he was too strong, so I think they actually nerfed him a little bit going into the release. But for me, he didn't seem like a very strong character. But again, I didn't gravitate to tanks very much. I thought Groot was a really fun tank. But out of all the other tanks, I didn't get a lot of playtime with them because I just didn't really enjoy the playstyle as much. So that very well could have been it. But I noticed when I did have Magnetos on my team, if they were teamed up with the Scarlet Witch, it's a very strong combination. So maybe that's why they addressed some of it. But again, your favorite character in Marvel might not be your favorite character in this game because of the way they play and what role they're playing on the team, whether they're a healer, DPS, or a tank. But regardless, I think if you haven't had a chance to play in the alphas or the betas for this game, you're going to need to check this out in just under 2 weeks now. Again, I believe it's about 10 days away from launch. I'm very, very excited for it. And if I'm going to give this a rating out of 10 just from the beta alone, I'm going to give it an 8.5. Only because I do believe, obviously, there's room for improvement because we had limited maps. I think there was only 4 maps we had to play in the beta. I could be wrong about that, but if I feel like it was like 3 or 4 maps. And I definitely would like to see more maps because I didn't love them all. Some improvements could be made to some of the maps and the destructive environments. So there are some room for improvement, and of course characters. We're going to be constantly getting more characters. So I definitely think this game could definitely go up to a 9, 9.5. But it's definitely a fantastic foundation. Everything I played, it was a lot of fun. It's definitely not perfect. It needs some balancing here and there for certain things. And of course, I'm sure we're going to run into skill-based matchmaking and that whole argument once the game releases, because all multiplayer games deal with that issue. But I really, really was impressed by the beta of this game, especially from some of the issues I heard from the alpha, which I didn't get to play in. I heard a lot of it was rectified. This game ran really smoothly for me. I didn't run into really any real issues while playing this. So I 100% would recommend this game to anybody, whether you're a fan of hero shooters or not. I personally think this game specifically will dominate the genre. When you have games that failed like Concord, where you want to build this whole audience and foundation, nobody has any relationship to any of those characters. That game failed miserably for a multitude of reasons. This game, it's fun. Marvel Rivals, it's a lot of fun to play, and even better still, everybody knows all the heroes. Or maybe not all of them. You might not know a Jeff the Landshark or some of the characters coming, but you're going to know the majority, and you're going to be able to find someone you like. It's fun to play with, it's a fun play style, and that is really awesome. They have the largest roster of heroes that you can play with, that people are going to want to play as. You're going to be able to get your X-Men coming down the pipeline. I believe we're already getting Dr. Doom. You're just going to get some of the best heroes and villains from all of Marvel coming to this game. And just to give you a little spoiler on a video that I'm going to have upcoming with some of my wish list for characters I'd like to see come to Marvel Rivals that haven't been announced yet. I'd like to see Wolverine. I'd like to see Gambit. I'd like to see Iceman. If we're going non-X-Men characters, I wouldn't mind seeing it somewhere down the line, no rush for it, but some of the other symbiotes like a Carnage. I would love to see Carnage come to this game. Otherwise, I'm going to leave some of the spoilers to the actual video itself when it comes out. But I'm telling you guys, if you haven't had a chance to play Marvel Rivals yet, I very much encourage you guys to check it on release. It's going to be free to play, free for everybody, cross-platform, all your platforms, so you'll be able to play with your friends. So yeah, Dubious Ones, definitely we will be covering a lot more of this game on the channel as leading up to the game, and once the game releases, I'll be doing lots of live stream, playing with viewers when I can. But I'm very, very, very excited for Marvel Rivals, and definitely think you guys should be checking this out as soon as it releases. Anyways, Dubious Ones, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button and let me know your feedback in the comments below. I want to know what you thought of Marvel Rivals if you've had a chance to play it, or just from the footage you've seen. Who's your favorite character? Who are you looking forward to playing the most? And what are your thoughts? Do you think this game's going to be a success? Do you agree with me in thinking that this could be, and probably will be, the most successful hero shooter of all time? I want to hear from you, but that's going to do it for the review. Dubious Ones, thank you all so very much for watching. And until the next one, catch you all in the next one. Dubious Ones, thanks for watching. Deuces.